Forward for a great session today. Now I request Ms. Apurva Iyer, full-time research scholar from Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Sashan Jain College, to deliver the welcome address and give a short just about the guest profile, resource person of the day. Apurva, ma'am.
Thank you, Vijay.
Yes, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. It is with great pleasure that I welcome you all to this enlightening webinar on Review of Literature, a Primer. This is conducted by the Madras University Commerce Alumni Association, the Department of Commerce, University of Madras, in association with Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shasun Jain College for Women. We are privileged to have with us today Dr. Haridayal Sharma sir, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Commerce from DG Vaishnav College, whose expertise is in green marketing, consumer behavior, and digital commerce. Sir is an active member under various associations like Indian Commerce Association, Indian Accounting Association, Indian Economic Association, Indian Statistical Institute Kolkata, and Indian Accounting Association Research Foundation. He has over 24 years of experience in the field and has also undertaken various UGC funded projects. We heartily welcome you, sir, for the session today. I extend warm welcome to the esteemed program directors, Dr. R. Shanti Ma'am, Professor and Head, Department of Commerce, University of Madras, and Dr. A.G. Vijayanarayanan sir, Assistant Professor, DG Vaishnav College for Women, who have provided exceptional leadership and guidance for organizing this webinar. I also take this opportunity to acknowledge and thank the organizing committee members for their dedicated efforts. Dr. S. Padmavati Ma'am, Principal, Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shasan Jain College for Women. Dr. S. Rukumani Ma'am, Vice Principal, Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shasan Jain College for Women. Dr. C.K. Deepa Ma'am, Associate Professor and Head, PG and Research Department of Commerce from Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Shasan Jain College for Women. And Ms. Sheba A. Ma'am, Full-time Research Scholar, Department of Commerce, University of Madras. I also welcome the participants, academicians, researchers, and students for joining the session. We welcome you, sir. I request you to kindly take the session further. Thank you.
Before starting the session, let me thank from my bottom of my heart Dr. R. Shanti, who is the head and professor, Department of Commerce, University of Madras. She is really giving you a wonderful opportunity for us to share our thoughts as well as to the students. They can really interact. I won't say like we can learn from each other something new. So really, I thank Madam to take this initiative. Of course, my co-speaker, wonderful person, always ready to, always whenever we call, she is available. And Dr. Vijay Narayanan, my colleague, again, very much interested in research methodology. Anytime, of the day, you can contact him and he is available to share his thoughts on that. And apart from that, I thank Triple S Jain College to associate with such a novel initiative. And of course, all the research scholars and those who have taken the lead. Thank you. Thank you all. Madam.
Good evening, all. This is Dr. A.S. Naglata, an assistant professor from C. Kansami Naidu College. I take privilege in the session to be as a beginner, and I'm very happy to share my thoughts in research methodology along with expertise. And I'm also, I would say, happy to learn from every end for whatever that we share here. We also happy to have input from your end also. I thank every one of the session or organizing. My special thanks to my guru, Professor Ranganathan sir, was a former registrar, University of Madras, and my guru, Dr. R. Shanti ma'am, head, Department of Commerce, University of Madras. I'm very happy for being part of this. Today, we would like to start the session for review of literature, where it is very important to have some sort of background knowledge of whatever that you're going to do as a research. Whatever that you're going to have a research and ideology, a topic, should have somewhere related to other part.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Sorry for the interruption, ma'am.
Nice.
Yes, ma'am. So we also have a welcome address, ma'am, for you. So just give us 2 minutes to just deliver the welcome address, please. No, it's every time we do it. So just a moment, ma'am. Apurva, ma'am. Are you
Yes,
ready, ma'am?
ma'am.
Yes.
Sorry, Nagalata, ma'am. Actually, we wanted to deliver the welcome address right before your session, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, it's a kind of discussion that we're going to do it with me and sir.
Okay, so yes, ma'am. Just 2 minutes so that I'll briefly explain your academic qualifications
Okay,
also.
carry on, ma'am.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. With immense pleasure, I also welcome Dr. A.S. Nagalata, ma'am, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce from Kandaswamy Naidu College for Men, Chennai. She holds a PhD degree from University of Madras along with MPhil, MCom and UGC NET. She has a teaching experience of 19 years at UG level and also PG level at 18 years. She has guided 8 MPhil research scholars and is also guiding 6 PhD candidates. We really welcome you, ma'am. Ma'am has also published 10 research articles in UGC CARE and Scopus Index journals. She has presented 20 papers at various conferences. Her work has earned multiple Best Paper awards, especially in the area of family tourism, CSR, and women entrepreneurship. Ma'am is actively engaged in academic forums, seminars, and workshops, and also attends doctoral committees and event coordination. We are really very glad to have both the speakers today for the webinar. We welcome you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. So let me have the review of literature. So review of literature where you need a background work, whatever the research that you're going to do it. It's somewhere at some sort of related in different discipline. But nowadays there are a lot of things are cross discipline where the perception when you say it will be part of anthropology and as well as the commerce like marketing. So somewhere whether it is exploratory study or maybe a study of descriptive, it has some sort of background work or theory or concept which is somewhere related in that other part. So let us know, like, first, what is review of literature? So it is a comprehensive survey which you do critically analyzing of existing scholarly work on a specific topic. For example, recently, if people want to explore what is AI, so when you say AI application in commerce, so you start knowing what is AI first, then what is scholarly articles which will be explaining you in terms of AI participation in commerce. So you make a specific topic where AI is one topic, and other one is it is about application in commerce. It's another topic. So your literature must be very clearly specific so that you will be narrow down your thought process to get a existing work correctly. Now, so we can say that review of literature is an provides an overview of the current state of knowledge, identifies the key findings, and highlights the gaps in the research. Of course, see, as I told you, like AI application, what is the current status, like how it has been. For example, when we are interested in WhatsApp, as soon as WhatsApp has come, and next we have another platform where Twitter has come. So now it is an X platform. So there is another chat GP has come. The sources and information which is narrowed down based on the requirement. Even now the meta which is in WhatsApp is the next level. So there is an updation in every aspects of uh, data and information which we gathered. Okay. So likewise in the review of literature, you should know what is the current updated and work which you wanna do it and take it to the next level in your research. So you should know the as of now what is updated, then only you can take them to the next level if you are interested in that particular topic. And it is also important to highlight the research gap. See, research gap is something where the people have not solved the problem, where some sort of study which is unsolved, that you will take it as your part of research gap and you will work on it. So this research gap already have somebody did basic work or maybe an initial level or maybe only given the conceptual model, so only it is there available in theoretical model. So you will take them to practical and prove it. For that you need a review of literature. The same way it is to be understanding the field. See, any sort of research or any sort of topics, any sort of terms, whatever that you take, you should have a thorough knowledge and the different perspective of the same term in different domain. So if you have a clear understanding, then only you can relate and narrow down of your research work. So a contribution of to existing knowledge is very important to build upon your ideology in it. And review of literature is a primarily it's about like comprehensive survey and to know your current status, to find out the research gap and build upon your own contribution to the existing knowledge. So this is normally we say as a review of literature. Sir, I need your opinion in this, sir.
Of course, a review of literature is critical to any research. For example, even we have seen, if you see good journals and all, even just they publish the theoretical background and that is considered to be a paper. So don't think it is just, we don't generally students think that the literature review is just an aspect and then data collection, methodology, data analysis, conclusion. For, there is journal AMR, I think management review, there is a journal. So there they only do the theoretical review and based on that, that can be published as a paper. And even so, literature is critical for any study. It adds to the legitimacy of your study. For example, if somebody comes out with a topic, he needs to justify why he has selected that topic. Out of blue, we cannot say all of us are not Buddha, where we sat under a tree and suddenly we got some knowledge and we came out with the problem and then methodology and then solution and we gave something interesting to the society. So we built upon the previous work done by somebody, and there we try to find the gap. It is through literature review. Literature review justifies your work. It adds to the legitimacy, as I said, and you built upon others' work. And that is how the knowledge, we might have heard, contributing to the body of knowledge. So already there is some knowledge. You are contributing through your work, little by little, you are adding and you are creating a entire gamut of, or we can say, a body of knowledge. So that is the concept of literature. It is must. And I do not know whether in further slides it is there. Literature will be useful everywhere, all parts of your research, right from introduction, right from methodology, even discussion session, part everywhere that literature will be useful. So very apt topic. Literature is critical. Even in our last discussion, we said literature is critical when it comes to doing the research. Yeah, madam.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Normally, the literature consists of books like encyclopedias, yearbooks like annually, which is comes, and textbooks, reference books. When you say periodicals, journals, per annum, it will come, or maybe quarterly, or maybe halfly. Reports we can take it from committees and commissions, which is approved by the government, or seminar peer-reviewed reports, and research dissertations and theses, which is also comes under literature, and newspapers and audio-based details for the topic which you are searching for. So these and all is consist of literature. So apart from there is lot of other sources. Sir, can you add on your own points in this, sir?
Yeah, madam. Now, students may ask, which is the best source? Books, journals, reports, or dissertation and thesis, which is the best one? From the research point of view, the most, believed, we can say, or authentic source, generally they take journals. Seminal work, you can study through books. Otherwise, journals are the best. Okay, you refer journals, that is the best source, and it adds, again, as I said, people will believe when you quote journals, when you refer journals. Of course, books, when you introduce the topic or when the work is seminal in nature, then you can use the books or these things. But generally, let me tell you, because researchers are there, encyclopedias and all, generally they think it is a UG level thing. Of course, they are very much part. I'm not finding fault. Like, it helps you in understanding it and it helps you in introducing the thing. But as a researcher at doctoral level or postdoctoral level, number one is journals. Number two, book. Reports. Again, what kind of reports? Authentic reports. from some government or some known or reputed organization like UNESCO or WHO or like that, some reputed organization. Or CRISIL, for example, they do conduct KPMG surveys. So they add to some extent authenticity to your work. Otherwise, every now and then NGOs will come, they come out with some report. It raises some doubts and question marks about the authenticity of your literature. So number one, journal, in my view, books, reports from a government source, the best, or reputed, if NGO or private, reputed thing. Research dissertations and thesis will come next. Newspapers, we can get secondary data, but again, it's a piece of information or editorial. It can be used as an introduction of your research, that so somebody said like that, and this is his opinion, and you can build upon that your research problem. Of course, audio-based details are also there, right? So that is my take, madam.
Thank you, sir. So now, why we have to look into this research review or maybe literature review? So number one, we found out that what other scholars have written about your topic. There are a lot of evolutionary study have been taking place in each and every field. So you would like to know what other people's perception and how they proved it, and what sort of contribution that they did it in their particular topic which you want to do it for your research work. So it is about learn about methods and approaches. See whether what sort of samples they chosen, how many sample size they have taken, what is their population, and how they are drafted or picked their respondents, and how they applied their own ideology in terms of questions or questionnaires, or maybe what sort of survey they have taken, primary source or secondary source. So like that you will know the approaches towards the work what they previously they have done. So it is about like you will be knowing like appropriately the theory which is they are built upon. It could be altered or it could be updated, or maybe you can add on your contribution once you understand that part. So here we can go with the research cap as already I have told you the same thing, and it has helped us to focus our research and shape on our refine your research questions. See, somebody have already have done this work. I should not take again. So I have to apply the same work. There is a need of this work need to be applied in another platform. As I know, we'll be knowing like AI application, which is being used only for science. So how the big data analysis could help out for a researcher in terms of marketing. So like that application field, which is wider, but you should be very very clear where it is applied and where it is not. So for that reason, to refine your own research questions and refine your own thought process, you need the research review to support your research work. Sir, your end.
Yeah, madam. So as we said earlier and very rightly pointed out by madam, right from introduction till conclusion, we need support of literature review. For example, when you introduce something, you have to give that problem statement. Now problem, because you have perceived, you in the sense a researcher has perceived a problem, doesn't mean it is a problem. The great people who are in the field, they should say there is a problem. Now, how to identify that? They would have written somewhere, as madam said, some newspaper article or some journal would have mentioned about that, some theoretical work would have been there. So it helps in identifying the problem. It helps in writing the introduction. And not only that, then it moves further. How do you go for methodology? For example, one fellow would have, because it in exploratory nature, the work may be initial in nature, he would have used convenience sampling method. Now you can fill the gap and you can say he used convenience, but I will be using some other method of sampling, and you can justify. Or suppose you are also using the same sampling method, you can take the previous reference and you can justify why you have used this particular methodology. For example, as madam said, questionnaire framing. Questionnaire, you have developed certain questions. On what basis? Of course, we check reliability, we check normality, we may check. But on what basis you have developed that questionnaire? The review of literature will justify why I have included this statement, why I have not included this statement. For example, certain scales are there, predetermined scales. For example, to measure job satisfaction. Now, in Indian context or with respect to an industry, you may have to omit certain statements. or you may have to add certain statements. Now, how will you justify that? Why you have omitted or why you have added? Review of literature will come to your rescue. Even when, as I said, methodology and even discussion and conclusion, you can always say, my study, the result is that it is matching with the previous study. Or my study, the result is this, it is not matching with the previous study. Why not? So it opens new avenues for even taking the research forward. Yeah, madam.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. So, sir has rightly said, like the different steps of research, we can say the period. Each and every cases, the review will be supportive, even from the introduction, maybe building your conceptual development, which could support your review, with support of your literature review, you'll find the research gap. And as soon as you will find the research gap, you will take out your previous literature where the important variable which you identified will be part of your research. The same way, after framing that, you try to see what other people have applied the tools and the methodology, where you try to apply the same or maybe different. So each and every, even writing your maybe conclusion, giving a suggestion for each and every platform, the literature review supposed to give your hand, because the strong proof and the supportive authenticated details only will save you to prove your methodology and prove your results. So we have a different stage. For example, so at the time of identification and selection of your problem, what are the sources are available in the literature? So you can take a source book, a latest publication on your discipline, or maybe aiding institution survey in social science and publication thesis. These are the people will try to give you identification and selection of your problem. For example, National Women's Commission, every year they used to give come out with a concept, come out with an ideology of research funding of particular area. For example, for women enhancement, women's in sports, women's in domestic work, or women's in unorganized sector. So like that, they'll be giving some sort of would we say third area where the researchers can put their own contribution in that cases. So these are the aiding institutions also support you to bring out a problem where you can do as your research work. So with this purpose, so what is actually that you going to get when you do this sort of supportive research aiding reviews? So you will gain a preliminary orientation and you will understand the complete background work of the particular domain or a topic or a concept. It also gives you update knowledge in the same field, and it knows the work already have done, so how many people have contributed their own work in this, and to identify the research gap. If somebody have not investigated certain platform, you will take it as your problem and you will try to prove it with the help of these review of works. Then we have steps in a research process. So in the steps in research process, formulation of selected problem and operationalization of concepts. So both will have a previous study in the field, journals, and published thesis. These will support you to select your problem. See, all the problems cannot be addressed. When certain problems will be your cup of tea, and you try to give a solution which could be feasible for your own ideology, for your own strength. Okay, so like that, you will choose your selected problem from the major domain which is given to you. And operationalization of conceptual. See, like when you understand completely the term what it says. For example, when you say perception, okay, so what is a perception here? It means, so when the perception with personality or perception with anthropology, so like that you try to relate it and you conceptualize, which is your own platform, and you try to fix it for the study. So with this, what is the purpose of review? Here it comes again, to become as familiar with an appropriate methodology and research techniques relevant to the study, and to give a clarity of concepts, knowing measurement techniques, how to measure the concepts and what is existing. So in this two platform, like identification and selection of problem, formulation of selection of problem, and operationalization of concepts. So these area, the research purpose is very much served in the with the help of review of literature. Sir, your own thoughts, sir?
Yes, yes. As said by Madam, very well pointed out, there must be a friction. Friction precedes the research. So there must be some problem, then only research cannot be done in isolation. So where is the problem? You need to justify. So as put properly, identification and selection of problem. Is there really a problem? Or we as a researcher think there is a problem? So what kind of problem? We need to identify and we should back it. We should prove it. So that's where review of literature will come, that there is a friction, there is an issue, and that's the real gap, and that will lead us to the problem. So here, as I said, review of literature will back us, justify in our approach that yes, there is a problem, X said like that, Y said like that, that is the impact. And obviously with respect to methodology, as Madam rightly pointed out, in operationalizing the concept, for example, as very well pointed out, perception. Now, perception with respect to what? Or behavior. Now, so these things with the backing in a particular domain, if we do research that literature review properly, it may help us in developing these concepts in a proper way, in a doable way rather. Okay, yeah.
Sir, I have a question here, sir. Sir, in some research articles, the people only see like evolution of the concept. With that, they will make a paper. They will make a presentation. So, for example, if my study on my bread and butter is CSR, corporate social responsibility. So, when the corporate social responsibility started in 1981, so from the day till the date, what are the different coined or supporting or we can say building concepts are there in CSR? Based on that, a person have presented a paper. So is that possible for all the cases, sir?
Yeah, that's what I said. Just some people present papers just based on that literature. Nowadays, it is very common. SLR, they call it, if I'm right. That literature review, they call it, and they present it. Some specified literature they will do, and they will make the presentation. But anyway, yeah, when it comes to, yeah, paper can be presented with respect to theoretical framework also. But when it comes to research, as I said, we start with the seminal work, and there might be dimensions. For example, there is some, when it comes to CSR, as per our Companies Act, there is some, percentage of profit we are supposed to separate or segregate, keep it, for CSR activities. Now, how far it is useful, or is it really impacting the society, or is it really a good decision? So like that, when we go to the specifics, we can go for the seminal paper where CSR started, and then we can jump to other countries where they have made it mandatory. For example, UK and all, they have made, for example, medicine there and all, or even I heard that this cable or television and all being taxed, so that they can help the downtrodden people. So how far the CSR activity initiative taken by the government contributes to the CSR thing. So like that, when we enter further, we can take the seminal work and the specific dimensions vis-a-vis our objectives.
Okay, sir. Further, in the next step of your research, we can say preparation of research proposal, construction of tools of collection of data, drafting the theoretical chapters and theory parts of other chapters. So for this purpose also, you can use and take the support from the review of literature, from the illustrated books on methodology of research, and publication theses, copies of tools and skills furnished in the appendix of theses, and journal textbooks, referred books, reports on the subject matter. These and all will support you. These are the areas, these are the platforms where you can take inputs for your these purpose of your research stage. So supportive comes as a result to develop the alternative design and formatting the hypothesis where others have not investigated, and gaining thorough knowledge of the process of tool or whatever the measurement that you take as a techniques. And note, you take a note making, like see, whenever you take a literature, you try to write what you have understood and what is your observation in that thesis. It comes under note making. So note making must be structured based on MLA format or APA format, and Chicago format. So these are the standard format. So based on that, you will try to make your bibliography or note making. So like the sources of literature. So we say primary literature, secondary literature, and tertiary literature. Sir, I need your input in this case, sir.
Mhm. Yeah, of course, primary literature, when we go with respect to this original research work published, as very rightly pointed out, secondary, that has been the books and all the other things, summaries and synthesis, or a kind of abstract that has been published by different people, and tertiary thing. But again, with respect to literature, as she said, with respect to this referencing style, we need to be careful with respect to that. And even most of them, they do not know the distinction between, as they say, footnotes, endnotes, bibliography, references. So whenever we are citing, as you said previously, with respect to the literature review, we need to be very careful. What is footnote? What is endnote? Bibliography, referencing, all those things. So just a thing on that. I hope it is, if it is there, we can discuss later on also. For
Okay.
example, yeah, it's
Yes, sir.
there, ma'am, in the thing.
No, sir.
Okay.
Please give your
So,
opinion.
yeah, footnotes is the additional information that you are giving. So that when, and again, everything and anything need not be given as footnotes. It is something which is important, but is not that important. For example, you need to say it, but not as part of your thesis work or your writing. Then you give footnotes below the page. Endnotes at the end of the chapter, something interesting or some information, when you give, that is considered as endnotes. Bibliography, everything, whatever you have mentioned in your research or whatever you have done, can be part of your, we can say, appendices or appendices. For example, your questionnaire, any statistical method that you adopted, but secondary information that is not main part of your work, that can be presented in appendices. Bibliography is only the books and journals that you have mentioned in your research work. So that will, I hope, complement your these sources of literature, madam. That work.
Okay. Sir, I have a question for you, sir.
Mm.
Sir, when the people are writing on observing the thesis, for example, not thesis, okay, let me take a journal. So I see like perception of AI in daily life. Okay. So like perception of a customer, those who are looking at AI in their daily life. So when you say it is very broad, okay. So I'll take literature from perception of customer, in that case is on AI separately, on daily life separately. The question is that when you write the literature, we have to write based on the variables. So if there is any style or format in that case, sir, in that case,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, as you said, the best is this way based on the concepts, but some people do it in a time manner. For example, the first study, then the subsequent study, like that till the latest. Some follow this concept method. For example, as you said, AI or what are all the important concept wise they introduce. That is the best thing. The traditional was based on that time. First study was done on this, second study, third study. But nowadays they prefer the concept point of thing where the concept is there and then you start doing that. And even we can do not only in that way, even based on certain people who are expert in the field and their work we can condense. Suppose there are expert in the field, and on that author based work also we can do, where certain dominant people are they have done, these are all the study and their outcome, and like that also we may present.
Okay, sir. It's my another question. Sir, like when you write the review of literature of particular journal, the people will write some 10 to 20 lines. Like, is that needed, sir? Like, or else there is any standard form? So when you criticize on review of literature, which you're going on a particular journal, go through a particular journal, what is expected to mention in that particular journal, which you are writing as a literature review?
Okay, so you are asking like how to critically evaluate the previous work.
Yes, like
Yeah,
what to
20.
be expected to be given as a part of literature. For example, if I take a perception of there is in Parsuram and Zitmal where they have a circularity as a conceptual
Mm,
framework, they made it, sir. If I'm
mm,
going to apply in health insurance because it's one of the service, okay. So,
mm,
like if I see the different people work in the same application of the circularity, so I'm writing a literature of what they did it in health insurance, what other people did it in the health insurance.
mm,
So what uh, I need to write in a para of
mm.
literature, what should be consist of?
So suppose again, service quality, even 2, 3 has come, if I'm right. That is the oldest one, service quality thing.
Yes,
So
sir.
service quality, for example, somebody would have done with respect to departmental store. Now you are applying it into healthcare. Now,
Okay.
first we can introduce what do we mean by service quality. Then a small paragraph or some introduction about when it was applied. Now, how it is applicable in our thing. For example, both are service. So in that way, we can connect the link. Then we can go how they are different. For example, departmental store is something different and healthcare is different. So that's how we can justify that what things we have omitted in that scale and what are all the things we have brought in with certain literature review. So what is the concept service quality, when it was adopted, how they are connected and how they are different later on, we can justify based on the work done.
Okay, sir. So recently, in few theses, I have seen like so when they write a literature of a particular thesis. For example, if my thesis is about the perception of manager and corporate social responsibility. So my PhD work, when somebody is go through, they need to write in a 5 to 10 lines. So in that cases, that the so and so author have investigated on these aspects with the aim of so and so, and the application of tool variable or these are the items, and the result is concluded like this. So with the
Mhm,
result which I take it as further, where it is similar to this or dissimilar to this, like that I can conclude. So this is
mhm,
the one para normally the literature is expected to be given, sir.
mhm. Yeah, that's what exactly is called a synthesis or critical evaluation of the work, where, and again, you might have taken different variables. One fellow will be interested only one aspect or one concept of your study. So again, he need not, of course, if it is very much similar to your work, he can mention everything relating to that. Otherwise, he can take certain concept because you would have studied 2, 3 things. So he can take what is relevant. And even moreover, nowadays, we might have seen in good journals and all, they combine together. For example, Madam did, then Dr. VN and Dr. HDS have been, they have done on this particular topic. But one person is different in his outcome as compared to the two other. Why? Maybe because Dr. HDS would have done in Chennai, Dr. Naglata would have done in Bangalore, and that could be the reason. So that exactly is called a synthesis of literature. That is how you do, where you see the commonality, at the same time you see what is the difference when it comes to methodology. So if we see good journals and all, they bracket together. So, there is a relationship between service quality and CRM, for example. Then they will give 10 kind of, reference, kind of citation, X, Y, Z, like that. So all of them have said there is a relationship. Then they start with the problem, but 2 people said like that, 3 people said price is effective, 4 people said the location is important. Now, what is the truth? I'm trying to go about that. So that's how we proceed further.
Sir, in approaching the review of literature, there is a different style actually normally. The people will be writing the numbers as their top whenever they mention as this the particular ideology or this is the particular discussion I have found this in this journal. I found
Mm,
it from taken from this literature or maybe a book. Okay, they keep on giving the numbers at the top.
mhm, mhm.
Sir, and the same cases if somebody said a single word, okay, I take his opinion, still I have to mention as in the part of reference, sir.
Okay, number in the sense 1, 2, like that they mention, you're talking
Yes,
about
yes,
that.
yes, sir,
Yeah,
yes, sir.
that has become bit old fashioned now, I think. With latest thing, they have avoided that. Why? Because when a further subsequent reader reads that, For example, I'm going through a journal, number 1 is there. Now again, I have to go back and check who is number 1. Then number 2 is there. Again, I need to go back and check number 2. So nowadays, they have avoided that 1, 2, 3, putting that 1 or 2, 3 like that, numbering that reference. Rather, they put the name of the individual. Okay, and 2018, 2008 like that. So they will remember and later on they can refer it. So that putting the numbers, I think a little bit nowadays you cannot find in latest journals or good journals and all, putting that 1, 2 like that. And what was the second one? Sorry, madam.
Even a person said a single line, I have to mention in my reference when I take as his opinion part of my research.
You are talking single line in the sense you would have referred to the book or something.
For example, sir, newspaper have come out with for example, if I say Chandrayaan, okay, Chandrayaan, when I take it as part of the discussion, this day the newspaper is criticized like this, and this day the newspaper have said something. So there is lot of daily details which come. Okay, so where I will take only one detail, and about the Chandrayaan, I'll mention only one day. It is enough.
Yeah, significant commentaries we can take. For example, ISRO, NASA, somebody would have said about Chandrayaan, that we can take. Somebody on the road or some useless journal or some newspaper, some article is there. It again, it will question the work quality. So if a significant guy who has a say in the particular domain or who is an expert, if he comments something, maybe negative, positive, it doesn't matter. In both ways, a researcher can take it and take further. So, as again, the authenticity of the speaker needed to be checked. That is my thing. And even if it is one line, if it is significant, it is wonderful. For example, India's GDP has grown by 4% or something like that. If you make a statement, from where are you giving? Even though just one line, we need to quote it. Otherwise, they will ask, from where have you got this particular thing? So this newspaper, so and so date, as per this study, economic survey, we came out. Just even though it is a one line, we need to give that.
Okay, sir. So almost we are in end part, sir. How to make a note taking, how to make a reference of the particular literature which you have taken part of your research. So we can say like when it is for a book, when you take a literature from the book, you should mention author's name, starting with the last name. The initial will be after that, and the title of the book and place of publication, the publisher's name, and the year. So this is normally expected to be given for the reference when you take literature in a particular book. And the same thing, like when you give in APA format or will you give in MLA format or Chicago, it is important because you cannot throw the detail just like that in the different order. There is a style, that is a order we're supposed to follow for the book. This is, and the next one is for article. So it's the same way, author name and title of the article, journal name, the publisher name, volume, issue number, date, and pages. So this is normally expected to give as a reference. See, any one detail is missed, normally it couldn't taken as an authenticated, or it will not be trusted probably. So this is what from our end. Sir, you want to add anything in this, sir?
Yeah. For our social science and commerce, I think Harvard or APA, both are similar. They are the best one. But there are other forms of referencing style also, as madam said, Chicago and AMA is there, where Medical Association. So all those things. But for us, as madam said, APA is the best one. And it depends which journal you are submitting. They may have their own preference with reference to, all those things. Now, one more thing. See, the idea is some may put italics, some may, things may go here and there. But the purpose is that if a reader goes through our work, if he wants to check the original source, he should be given the complete information about that. For example, recently our MCOM student, he came out with the project and references The Hindu, The Express, Business Standard. Now, Business Standard, from so many days it is coming, which day, which page, which column, suppose if I'm interested, very interesting, idea he has given. I want to refer the original source. So the purpose, we need to understand as a researcher, everything is common sense and logical. The purpose is to give complete detail to the reader. If he wants to go to the original source, we give all the convenience to him so that he can go through. The only thing, the italic may matter, one thing may come there. So all those things, bold, some will be there. All those things may be, these are the styles. But the logic is this, and as I said, APA is the best one. Again, this itself is a very interesting thing. For example, if you go for APA, there is a thick volume available and they keep on updating. I do not know, APA 9 or something recently, I'm not sure, something like that. They come out 0.1, 0.2, 0.3. Recently 7 or 9, I do not know, they have come. Go to research. For researchers, they should go to the website. It's very interesting. How do you cite a website? How do you cite a newspaper article? How do you cite a book? How do you cite a dissertation? How do you cite a journal? How do you cite an abstract? Yes, abstract can be cited. So these are all very interesting things. It will be very interesting if you go through all those things. In that APA website, you go, even I think freely downloadable, and nowadays PDF file and all available. So you can download, and it will be a very thick book just to read that APA itself. It will be very interesting. And even, for example, while writing the literature, one more thing I will add, madam.
Yes, sir.
For example, numbers. How do you present the numbers in literature? It's very interesting. You go through that. I'm talking about students. For example, 25% of the people agreed with this statement. Can you write like that? Okay, how do you write? 2, 5, then percentage? As per the norm, you cannot start with number. 25% of the people. So how do you present the number? For example, table. APA tabling style is there. Generally, how do you present a table? You might have seen, if you see good journals, there will be lines only. There will not be columns. There will be only rows. Row line will be there. So you can Google. I'm talking about students. They can Google APA table style. It is very interesting. So even how do you present a table? Table is a table. Columns will be there. It's a combination of column and rows. But even how do you present a table? How do you write table? Table 1, and should you write the table heading in a bold or italic, or table 1 should be on top and then name that heading of the table? How do you present the source of the table, primary or secondary source? How do you write? So all those, I'm just, you just go through, I'm talking, all the research scholars, just type in Google later on, APA style table, and it will be very interesting. How do you present the numbers? Should it be rightly indented? In a table, in a column, how do you present the numbers? Whether it will be centered, should it be right, should it be left, starting left indented? All those are very interesting things. That's why I said 2 things are very critical. Methodology and statistics may see later on, you can see. Number 1, writing style. Number 2, literature review. For all the researchers, literature review should be good. And how do you present your arguments? How do you write that literature, your numbers? That really creates a very good impression. Yeah, madam. Sorry if I've taken.
No, sir. Please give your input. Sir, finally, is there one more last question? Recently, the review of literature, when as soon as we go through it, we'll be giving at the back of as a part of a reference. So when you give a reference, the people are writing bibliography, and so on new terms. So how do you find this, sir?
Yeah, the broad term is appendix or appendices, they call it in a broader term. So in that, everything is there. Part of that appendix is bibliography. And again, very interesting. That's why read some free journal available online. Recently, I came across one journal in reference online. I checked that online journal. Some references were in blue, some references were in black. So I was wondering, because we don't. So I asked him, what do you mean by blue, and why you have mentioned that blue and why you have mentioned that black, some references. Then later on, I came to know those references which are cited, they have put in blue. And those references, the guy has referred, but he has not cited in the journal. That they have put it in black. So whenever we see any good journal, researchers kindly make note of it. Any good journal, quality journal, check the reference. It will be in blue, black, blue, black. I was wondering why can't all be black? Why can't all be blue line? If you click, it will take you to the link if you are having the source available with your institution. So if you click to that reference, it will take you to that particular journal. But why blue, black, I was wondering. So even what you are not citing. So yeah, your question, madam, appendices is the broad thing. Bibliography, everything and anything that you have done. References again with respect to journals and books. So I hope I have made it clear, madam.
Yes, sir. So I expect some questions from the participants. Please text us so that we could help you out to give our own ideology in that sharing.
In the meantime, my suggestion to the scholars or research students, take any good one article. For example, I think this Vikalpa journal. Take one article, just go through it. How beautifully they are presenting, how they are presenting literature, how they are referencing, how they are introducing, how they are presenting the table, how they are mentioning the methodology. And I saw Vikalpa. We subscribe to that Vikalpa in our thing. Vikalpa, it is, I think, IIM Ahmedabad journal. And you will be having articles on finance. You will be having articles on marketing. One article will be there. And it is available free of cost. Let me tell you, even online you can go to that particular Vikalpa journal. Suppose marketing for students area is marketing, now you download that. Simple, don't complicate. There will be complicated things. We may not even understand what they are trying to say. It is above our head, things may go. But try to download a simple that you think you will understand. Download that, how beautifully they are presenting. So when you read journals like that, you automatically, that is the purpose again of literature review. How do you present yourself? How do you present introduction? How they are writing literature? It's interesting. Just one simple article you download and go through. You'll understand. Yeah, madam. Any queries or any suggestions?
Yeah, sir, I don't find any. Don't find, sir. Once again, I thank all the organizer for giving us this opportunity. Special thanks to my gurus and as well as my brother, Dr. Vijayanarayanan sir. I thank Haridayal Sharma sir because without any PPT, I am not sharing anything. Just I called him today and he said, okay, and we'll do it, madam. So thank you for everything, sir, for supporting the session.
Thank you, madam. My thanks, also heartfelt thanks to Dr. Shanti and of course my friend VN and you, always there for us, always discussion. It's nice to discuss. Again, one more thing to the research scholars, discuss as much as you like, interact with people, different people, whatever applicable to you, don't keep yourself aloof. Interact with many people, you'll get different ideas. Yeah, that is why I come to these forums and all, so that let us learn from each other something. Yeah, madam.
Ma'am, thank you. We have come to the end of the
Ma'am,
session.
can we do the vote of thanks? Ma'am, can we proceed with the vote of thanks? Participants, is there any doubts? Okay. Now I request Ms. Radhika Jayakumar, full-time research scholar from Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Sashan Jain College, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Vijay ma'am. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am.
Lead with kindness, live with gratitude. A very good evening to one and all present here. As we come to the end of this webinar, I would like to take a moment to express my heartfelt gratitude to the Program Director, Dr. R. Shanti ma'am, Professor, Head Department of Commerce, University of Madras, Dr. A.G. Vijayanarayanan, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of Commerce, D.G. Vaishnav College, and the management of Sri Shankarlal Sundarbai Sashan Jain College for Women, Principal Dr. S. Padmavati ma'am, Vice Principal Dr. S. Rukmani ma'am, Organizing Committee Dr. C.K. Deepa ma'am, Associate Professor, Head PG and Research Department of Commerce, Ms. Sheba A., Full-Time Research Scholar, Department of Commerce, University of Madras, and a special thanks to our guest speaker today, Dr. Haridayal Sharma sir and Dr. A.S. Nagalata ma'am, for sharing such a valuable insights on the topic Review of Literature, a Primer. Thank you, sir and ma'am, for this informative dialogue session, sharing your profound knowledge and insight with us. Your presentation has been truly enlightening us. Always gratitude stands as a special note to all the staff, research scholars from many colleges for participating in this webinar. I once again thank each and everyone for this session.
Thank you, ma'am. Participants, please kindly fill the feedback link to receive your e-certificate. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am, for this wonderful session.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.